Hi, I'm Kelly, and the communication systems that I chose is Signs. I chose Signs because I think it's the most beneficial communication system in that it can be used with the majority of learners. Sign is used by pairing either a word or an action with a symbol. For example, a client that I'm working with in my practicum uses this, which technically means potato, to mean chip. So when he does this, we know that he wants a chip. Now this helps him communicate because instead of screaming or crying and us have to guess what he wants, he's able to tell us that he wants a chip. Or, this means cracker, he tells us that he wants a cracker. Sign language is most beneficial because it can be used for a variety of learners and levels of learning. For example, that same client was taught this to mean all done. So when he was finished with something, instead of becoming frustrated, he could tell us that he was finished or needed a break by saying all done. At first he was unable to do this, so he was physically prompted and guided to start here, then this was reinforced and used for all done, this, until he was able to do the full action. So the learner is able to communicate even if he's not doing the sign perfectly for the American Sign Language method. If the learner has issues with motor skills or is still working on improving the signs, he can be able to use adjustments of those signs, for example, just this, as long as the people around him know what those signs are. That way there's leaves room for improvement for when he's able to improve his motor skills and have those signs match the rest of the sign language community. Another great thing about using signs is there is already an established community. With the deaf community, we already have materials and trainers available for signs. Now with this mass amount of trainers and materials, there's a lot of things that you could find for free online, as well as many classes available, and with the mass amount of classes and materials, it means the lower the price. Also, with it being an unaided system, the individual is never left without speech. And when I say this, I mean, for example, if they're using an SGD on an iPad, you have to have the iPad present in order for the person to communicate. So let's say you forget your iPad at home or your battery runs low. With sign, you'll always be able to communicate because you always have your body, which is all that you need to communicate. Sign has also been proven to improve speech many times, as it's usually paired together. So for instance, whenever the client from my practicum asks for a chip, he says chip, he signs chip, I sign chip and say chip as I give it to him. So he's hearing that word paired with that sign, so hopefully later on he's able to say the word. Thank you for listening.